Good morning, guys. Car's full up and we're off fishing on our way to Islands Fishery. I'll see you when we get there. Okay guys, so bivvy is up, but the swim is a mess. Nothing's in the bivvy yet, and all of a sudden the right hand rod started twitching away, and it's this lovely, fully scoured, £17 mirror. What a chunk! Absolutely made up. Yeah, so that's my right hand rod, straight to the island in front, and like I say, it was on the slip D rig. With a wafter bait with a little tiny wafter on top, a little sweet corn wafter on the top, and yeah, and that's what tricked this fish. Absolutely made up. So what a great start to the session. I mean, I was hoping for one, so I'm going to go home happy. Whatever, anything on top of this will be a bonus. What I will do, I've noticed a couple of the scales have lifted. The one on this side, one of the big ones, looks like it's not recent, but I'll probably put some medication on that before I put it back as well. But yeah, £17 on the nose. What a nice start. I won't show you the state of the swim. It's an absolute mess. It looks like bombs at it. So get this back, get the rod back out there, and then I'll tidy the swim up, and I'll have another chat with you. I'll see you in a little while. Watch guys, it's coming up to 3 o'clock. And as you see, I had that lovely £17 on the nose, fully scoured. Absolutely chuffed with that. That's on the right hand rod. I'll show you where the rods are in a minute. But yeah, right hand rod on the slip D rig with a wafter bottom bait, topped with a tiny little dumbbell wafter, like an 8mm dumbbell wafter, bright yellow, sweet corn flavour. Yeah, so that's what tricked that fish up, and that was on the running rig. So I'm just going to have a look, see what the weather's going to be, because the sun's come out, and I wasn't expecting it like this today. When I got here earlier, it was grey, it looked like it's going to start raining. Like I say, the sun's come out, and it's actually really quite nice now. So let's have a look. That's a duck just down the edge for the fish. Okay, so west oil, next hour, cloudy, 16 degrees, light cloud and a fresh breeze. And so let's see what that's going to do. So it's going to be sort of sunshine and cloud. It's going to be a cloudy night, down to about 11 degrees. The wind's not letting up much, staying in the same direction. Yeah, so yeah, nice bright start. So it's going to stay dry, which is nice. So yeah, that's the weather we looked at. Like I say, I'll show you where the rods are in a minute. But I've all put out with the bait boat. I did go out with the sonar on the bait boat, and I wasn't convinced it was actually giving the right depths. Something weird, but it wasn't sitting very well on the bracket, the deeper. And I might have to have a look at that. So what I did do, and to be doubly sure, what I did is in the areas I'm thinking of fishing, about 4 or 5 areas, taking out the marker in the boat rather than casting and splashing and how to feel the lead. Okay, hopefully you can hear me in the wind. Well, I thought I'd show you where I'm fishing. I've got one bait just over here by this bush here on the island, and it's not tight, it's about half a rod length off. I'd say it's about 4 foot deep with gravel. And then the other one, middle rod, is over here, going towards the spit of the island, about half a rod length off. And then the other one, well, I just had that fish, it's just down here, right tight to the bank, in between the two bushes. There's a sort of bare area on the bank, and yeah, that's where I just had that fish. So you never know, might be a chance for some more. Let's see what it gives. Watch guys, it's just going on for 5 o'clock. Not a lot to report on the rods. I've had a few false bleeps with the odd gust of wind. Got quite a strong northeasterly coming from my left to my right. I'm quite sheltered behind this spit of land that goes out. It gives myself a little bay. So yeah, the bivvy's well sheltered, so it's nice sitting here. I've been enjoying the bit of sunshine. We have a bit of cloud cover too. But it's nice when that sun's out. It's nice to have a bit of warmth when you're fishing for a change after the winter. But yeah, quiet on the rods, apart from that one I had earlier. And I spent a bit of time tying up some fresh rigs, tied up a couple of new slip Ds. So I'll put some fresh baits on those and get those out for the evening. I'll get those out soon, I think, so I can relax and enjoy the evening. And yeah. Once those baits are out, they'll stay out there till something picks them up, or I reel in the morning to refresh them or whatever. But once they're out there for the evening, they've been staying put. So I need to make my mind up where I'm going to put the baits. I think I'll still keep one on the left-hand island. And I'm wondering whether to move the one that's on the point of the island straight out in front over to the point on the right-hand side and keep the right-hand run, swap that to the middle and keep it where it was where I had that fish earlier, which is basically straight out on the side of the island there. But I need to make my mind up soon. But I was hoping to see some sort of activity, see some fish showing, and there's not been any. Now when I got here this morning, all the swims were taken. Every swim was taken. Obviously you book your swims on here, and I waited for the fella to leave at his allotted time so I could move in behind him. I didn't sit there waiting for him. I waited in the car park until I knew he'd gone to get his car. Yeah, nothing worse than having someone breathing down your back while you're packing up. So yeah, so I've waited for him to go, got my gear around, but at that time every swim on the lake was taken. I don't think there's anyone anymore in the swim to my right, swim number 6. So that's one of the reasons I'm thinking of moving my middle rod and making it my right hand rod and coming over to the right hand side, because there'll be no lines going through that side of the water. Might be a move, I don't know, but where they are at the moment, all 3 rods aren't a million miles apart, so my left hand rod and my right hand rod are fairly close. They're just like the other side of a bush to each other, but I've had that fish on the right hand rod. It's a tough call to make. I'm not too sure which way I'm going to go, so I need to make my mind up where I'm going to put my rods. And but what I am going to do is I'm definitely going to keep one to the left hand side, to the overhanging bush on the left island. I'm definitely going to keep one where I had that fish earlier, close to the island straight out in front. Just need to make up my mind where the other rod's going to go. So I'm going to think about that, mull it over, and I'll let you know exactly what I decide as and when I do it. Anyway, catch you in a little while. Okay guys, I thought I'd do a product in focus, and the product I'm going to be looking at this time round is this. You may have seen them. It's a Cobb BBQ. Now, I feel I'm in a good position to tell you about this because I've had this for many, many years. Me and my wife, we use it when we've been camping. Probably had it about 6 years or so, and we absolutely love it. We wouldn't be without it when we go camping. I don't bring it to the lake very often, and reason being, it's quite bulky, quite heavy. It's not like your little gas stove, but at islands you are able to park your car behind the swim, unload your gear, and then go and park your car. So I thought I'd take the most of the opportunity for that, and I thought I'd bring this with me and share it with you so you can see what it's all about. I've started to see these appearing on, you know, many videos on YouTube. Seems like a lot of the big boys have got them, and yeah, I know why, and they are absolutely brilliant. So let me start by opening up this bag. So the basic kit, I've got all sorts of bits and pieces in here, so bear with me, it's going to be a bit noisy. The basic kit comes with this base, which comes apart. So you've got this base. Now all the bits in this Cobb are dishwasher safe, apart from this base. Now on the base you've got these 3 what they call rubber grommets. Now it's essential that these are in good condition, so if you bought a second hand one, check these grommets out and make sure they're good. If they're not, and I'll explain why in a minute, but if they're not, you can get them online and get a set, a brand new set, and they don't cost too much. So this is what we call the moat, and inside there is where you put your fuel. Well, in here you put the fuel in the middle. And we call it the moat because around the edge you've got a rim, and when you've got the stove cooking you can put vegetables and things in there, and they're cook as well as whatever meats or whatever you're cooking. And we've done roast potatoes in here, put them in some foil, put them in the bottom here, and while the chicken's cooking on the while the chicken's cooking on the top, the potatoes are going away lovely inside there. So that's the moat, and you've got the fuel container there. Now if you buy this as a basic set, what you'll get is this, which is your basic cooking surface, and you may get this, which is the rack. So if you're cooking a joint on that, you can put it on there, and then you've got the lid which goes on top like so. And like I say, all this is dishwasher safe, which is actually a godsend because it does get really dirty, apart from the base, so you need to wash that out, but that tends not to get very dirty. It's the moat and the lid that gets the dirtiest, plus whatever plates you're cooking on. So yeah, it's a fantastic bit of kit. Costs, well, when we bought it was about £90 odd, but I think they've gone up to about £120 now, depending on what model you got. They do a big version. This is like the standard size. So I think this one here, like this, is about 120 quid. I may be wrong, but it's going to be worth shopping around whatever you do. Now, I mentioned those grommets earlier, rubber grommets that are on the side here. Now the reason they're important is they stop the moat from touching this plastic rim. Now if anything touches that plastic rim once it's cooking, I've seen it online where these just melt away and it's good for nothing. You'd have to get a replacement rim for it, which you can get again, but I don't want to go through the hassle of doing that. And if you're on the bank, the last thing you want to do is not be able to use your Cobb after struggling to get it on the bank yourself. So when you're cooking, the lid stays on, and again, just make sure the lid is not touching that plastic once it's cooking. You've got to have a safe area around. If it's on wonky, it can touch the plastic, and that would cause you all sorts of problems. So how does it work? Well, quite simply, you've got these stone bricks, and I'll open this later and I'll do my cooking, but you've got these stone bricks, well, they're called cobblestones, and they're made by the Cobb company. Now these aren't cheap either. These cost about £15, I think, for 6, but they do last a couple of hours and they give off a really good heat. So to use it, you put, well, what I do, because these are meant to be self-lighting, and there's a centre bit there, and if you've got a lighter or match, I tend to hold the flame under that centre bit, and hope it starts to fizz and go. Can be hit and miss, so what I tend to do is use these sort of eco-friendly straw firelighters. Put one of those under the wire rack, light it, put the stone on the top, and then what it'd do, it would go up with a massive plume of smoke. And I mean, it's not very nice. It would take your breath away if you got your head over the top of it, and it smells like a real strong firework sort of smell as the self-ignition goes on, and it'll flare up, some flames will come out, and then pretty soon the flames will die down, and I'm talking minutes, not even, you know, you don't have to light it and wait 20 minutes like a barbecue. This is almost ready to go after 2 or 3 minutes. So let the flames go down, and then put the cooking top on, and what you've got these little prongs that comes with it, and you can put it in the holes and you can rest it on, and then when you finish you can obviously take it back off again. And so like I say, you've got this rack, and using this with one of those stones you can cook all your vegetables in the moat. And like I say, I'd wrap them in foil because all the fat from the chicken or the joint or whatever you're cooking will drip down the holes onto it in there. So yeah, put your potatoes in some foil, keep them nice and clean so the oil and fat don't get on them, and your joint goes on here, lid goes on, and then you just wait. Now, I mentioned joints. I have actually done roast chickens in this, and a nice bit of lamb. Takes a long time though, it's not like your conventional oven. And what you've got to bear in mind, if it's windy outside, the wind will cool this down. It works like an oven. I call it a barbecue, but it's not really. It's like a multi-purpose cooking utility. And yeah, so you can cook a joint of meat in there. It will take a couple of hours or so. And you may need to even replace the cobs if it's not cooked after that. But like I say, it depends on the conditions you're cooking in. If it's really cold and windy and it's blowing all the heat away, then it will take longer. If it's nice and still and you've got it in a secluded spot, it'll cook a lot quicker. You can get covers for them. I've seen them, like people make these fancy covers that go around them to keep the wind off. I've not gone to that. I'm a bit dubious about them. Whether they actually work or whether they might catch fire or get dirty. Now, one good thing about this is when it's actually on and it's cooking, you can put this on a plastic table and you can actually pick the base up and carry it around once it's lit. You can move it, no problem. The lid on the other end gets roasting hot. If you touch that, you will get scalded. You would burn your fingers to bits. That is red hot, it's like an oven. But the base doesn't get hot at all. And like I say, we've cooked on this on like a plastic cooking camping table and no problems whatsoever. It just doesn't get hot on this base bit. Anywhere above there, it's going to get extremely warm. So really useful, really versatile. Like I say, we use it on a narrow boat, put it on the roof of the narrow boat, no problems. It's not going to burn anything, it's not going to scorch the ground, you're not going to burn the grass, no problems at all. It's not like your conventional barbecue. So what else have I got in the bag? Well, I've got some more firelighters there. This is a frying pan base that we've got. Perfect for cooking your breakfast on. It's a really good non-stick sort of coating. But if you want to cook your bacon and egg and sausages, that's the tray to put it on. This is an extra. All these, you know, you can spend a bit of money on these to get all the bits and pieces you may want to do. But the basic set will keep you going for a long time, and then you may want to expand on it. But again, you can put the prongs in, and it becomes like a frying pan. Now, like I say, really good bit of kit, this one, and the good thing about this is none of the fat leaks into the flames below or into the moat, so it's a much cleaner system, although obviously you do need to clean your frying pan when you're finished. So that's the pan. What else have I got in here? Okay, the other accessory we got is this griddle pan. Brilliant for doing your chops and steaks, and sometimes even your sausages if you want that sort of stripy look. Really good bit of kit. It's quite heavy, quite sturdy. You know, it's quite a thick piece of metal, and that just sits on the top like so, using these 3 resting devices. Now, unlike the frying pan, what I call the frying pan, anything you cook on here, the juices will fall down into the moat. So if you're cooking your sausages on here, this moat's going to get pretty dirty. So just beware of that, but it does cook a mean steak. So that's the griddle pan, frying pan, and the basic pan that comes with the kit is there. And but we only had this one for quite some time before we invested in some of these extras, and you can do most things on this as well, so not a problem. Now, before I forget to mention in this review, you can use alternatives to these cobstones. So yeah, these can be quite expensive. They're very good, they're very hot, and they last, like I say, for a couple of hours. So if you're doing a joint, these are very good. But a good alternative is Australian heat beads. Now you can get those in shops like B&M and you know, any sort of hardware shops that do that sort of camping gear and stuff. They're called Australian heat beads. They come in little sort of oval nuggets shapes, and you can get, like, to replace one of these, you can use about 6 of the nuggets and put those in the basket instead of this. And again, light it in the same way using a bit of fire lighters. Using those, it does take longer to get going, and it's more like a barbecue, so you have to let the coals get hot, start turning grey before you can start cooking, so you have to leave it a bit longer. But they are very good, and they're a good cheap alternative. And the good thing about those is when you're done cooking, if you've only used them for a little while and they're still quite big, they're not burnt away too much, what you can do is douse them in water and make sure they go cold, and then let them dry, and yeah, make sure they're not burning anymore, but yeah, douse them, make sure they're out, let them dry, and then you can use them again. And you can use them 2 or 3 times doing that, depending on how long you've used them for. So if you're cooking a breakfast with sausages and bacon and you only need it on for 10 minutes or so, they're still going to be quite big. So like I say, take the this out with the coals in, using the prongs that I showed you, and put it in a bucket of water or spray some water over the top of them, and yeah, you can use them again. Great little tip that, but for tonight I'm sticking with the original Cobb stone. The other thing I have got, which is an extra, is this, and it may look silly, it may seem silly, but when you're cooking, when you've got this on and you're cooking away and the lid's on, the lids gets, like I say, red hot. Now what you can do is obviously put it on the floor like that, but that's going to be hot, so it's going to burn any grass or anything, and also it drip all the fat on the floor. Now this is a simple wire holder for the lid, and that just goes in there like that, and I think it's really one of those things that just comes in so simple but so brilliant. So I think this lid holder is a worthy accessory. Just makes life a lot easier, makes the handle easy to get hold of, and you know, away you go. So that is it. That is me Cobb BBQ. Like I say, the basic kit is about 120 quid. You may get one second hand cheaper. This one we've had, like I say, for about 6 years or so, and absolutely love it. We cook all sorts on it when we're camping. Also we've got a camping stove in the camper, but when we go outside, this is the baby to have. It's really, really good. We cook pizzas, burgers, joints, anything you want. You can pretty much cook it in this system. It's like your oven from home while you're camping, and yeah, so it's a fantastic bit of kit, and I'll be putting it to good use later. So stick around and we'll see what I'm going to be cooking. So hope you enjoyed that little insight into the Cobb BBQ, and I'll be doing some more products in focus soon. So if you like what you're seeing, click the subscribe button and press the bell notification so you always know when I've uploaded something, and give us a like and a comment. It's always good to see your comments and any questions you have, and I always try and answer you. So anyway, I'm going to put this away for now. Be back out again soon, and I'll see you in a little while. Okay, so I've just lit a fire lighter under the cobstone, and it will really start to smoke now, and that's where all the stuff that's inside the stone to help it set fire and ignite quickly will start burning and fizzing, and it smells like a massive firework. And I'm sitting right on top of it, which is not the best idea, but let's get that to go. You'll see what I mean. It's going to really smoke up. It's nowhere near ready for cooking yet. And now what you'll see is like the glowing embers where the stone is actually sort of lighting, it's spreading through the stone. Don't know if you'll be able to see that, but I can see it from here. You may struggle, but there's that section there is all lit. So the smoke's starting to die down a bit. Now the flames are kicking off. Now obviously it's not a bit of kit to use inside the bivvy. You'll end up in all sorts of problems if you've done that. We did make the mistake once in our big tent. We had a big porch at the front and it was raining, so we thought we'd light it and bring it inside the front porch, and the smoke that came up when it lit was just horrendous, and we had to depart the tent quickly and ended up getting soaked anyway. So yeah, be careful with any barbecue when you're fishing. You don't want anything inside the bivvy. There we go, we're pretty much ready to start cooking now. Like I say, those flames now are just from the fire lighter, so let them die down a little bit more. We're ready to start cooking. So what I'm going to do is put that on, and let it get warmed up. Okay, so let's see what we got in bivvy bites tonight. Got the cob, which I've already shown you in the product focus. But tonight, I've got a pizza to have on the bank. I know you may be wondering what's all the fuss about, but I do love a pizza. And this is a Marks and Spencer's American pepperoni. Perfect size for the cob. And it only takes about 7-8 minutes to cook it on this. Now, I've had pizzas on the bank before using the Ridge Monkey and using the little Chicago Town pizzas, those two little ones that come in a box, and they're good, but trust me, pizzas cooked on this are fantastic. You get that nice crisp bottom, and yeah, really good. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to get this out of the packaging, whack it in there, and I'll show you what it's like once it's done. Don't be a wally and leave the cardboard on the bottom, which I have done before, probably when I've had a few beers too many. Let's stick that on there, put the lid on, and wait, like I say, about 8 minutes. Just keep an eye on it, because it's not like an oven with a set temperature. You usually can smell it when it's ready to go. But so yeah, once it smells good, take a peek under the lid. Don't keep lifting the lid off though, because you're letting all the heat out, and it's losing that. It's like opening an oven door. The heat just goes, and it's got to build the heat up again. So don't take the lid off unless you have to. Keep that on there as much as possible until you think I've really got to check it. So let's just put this rubbish in the rubbish bag, let this cook, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'll tell you now, it smells great, and I think that is probably done. What you'll see on the base, look at that. You can see how firm that is. Oh, lovely. So, what you need to do now, once you finish cooking, you don't leave this plate on it, and as it's nice stones and not grass, I'm putting it on the floor there, and yeah, that can stay there for the time being while I tuck into this and enjoy this. And inside here, oh, happy days. I think I've run the lottery. Had a fish, pizza on the bank, had a nice cider. Can't get much better, can it? Bit of sunshine as well. Well, it's going down now, it's getting late now. But it's been a lovely day. And this is just topping it off. Cheers, guys. The other benefit of this, as it's cooling down, I'm getting the heat off of it. It's lovely. Let's taste this pizza. And no, I'm not going to cut it up. The only way to cut a pizza is with a roller thing, and I've got one with me. So I'm going to eat it like an animal and enjoy it. That is spot on. I don't know if you can hear the crunch. Yeah. See, who needs a takeaway pizza when you're fishing, when you've got one of these? Not me. Absolutely superb. Not just any pizza, Marks and Spencer's pizza. Anyway, I'm going to tuck in this. I'll speak to you in a little while. Good evening, guys. Just gone 8 o'clock and it's starting to get dark. So I thought I'd do a last vlog before it does so. And I enjoyed my pizza. That was really nice. And the ciders, a couple of ciders to wash it down. Pucker, absolutely lovely. So nothing to report on the rods, but it's just a case of the waiting game. The breeze is still there, still the wind going from left to right. Dies down every now and again, but then it soon picks up. It's quite chilly out there now, the sun's gone away, so got my fleece on, got my hat on, and yeah, the barbecue on the Cobb is still burning away down just beside the door there, but I'll leave that to just burn itself out and put it away in the morning. But what I will do before it gets dark is I'm not going to leave that there where I may trip over and cause a fire hazard. I'll move it out of the path to the rods, so I've got a clear run at the rods if anything happens. And yeah, who knows, it may happen. I've had a fish, so I'm happy, but you know what it's like, you start wondering if you're going to get another. You've had one, you want one more, then you want one more, and that's how it goes. But like I said earlier, I'm going to go home happy I've had a fish. Anything else will be a bonus, and it was a stunning fish. £17. I think I'm still yet to break the £20 barrier on this lake, but they're in here, so you never know. I'll keep trying and keep persevering. It only takes a second for those buzzers to go, and we could be into a nice chunk. But anyway, I'm going to shut the camera down. If anything happens in the night, you'll see me by torchlight. If not, then you'll see me in the morning. Well, it means it's been a quiet night. But hopefully you'll see me before the morning, and I'll see you in a bit. Morning guys. Well, as you can tell by lack of footage, nothing's really happened. I've not had much kip, I'm not going to lie. We had a torrential downpour of rain last night. I've had the geese making a racket in front of me in the swim, and I've had lots of ducks and tufties and stuff splashing around in the margin next to me, and I've been getting the odd bleeps on each of the rods. So a couple of times I've thrown the sleeping bag off me, ready to run at them, but yeah, it's just single bleeps. But yeah, nothing's come of any of it. So yeah, so very quiet night on the fish front, but very noisy in the bivvy one way or the other, either with the torrential rain on the bivvy or the bird life making a racket and the odd bleeps on the rods. But yes, I've not had a great kip, so I'm not getting out of the bag just yet. It's just about 6 o'clock in the morning now, so I've got about another 5 hours before I have to leave. So there's a chance, a slim chance. So if anything happens, I will let you know. But in the meantime, I'm going to try and have a little bit of a snooze, catch up on some Zeds, and I'll speak to you in a little while. So see you in a bit. Well guys, it's just getting on for 9 o'clock now. I've had a pretty lazy morning. I've been rested in the bivvy, had some cups of tea, a couple of bacon butties, very nice. The sun's coming up, which is very welcome. Hopefully dry some of the kit out. Still soaking wet from the rain last night. It was pretty torrential. So yeah, hopefully get the kit dry before I go. Got a couple of hours, like I say. Still a chance for one of these to go. You never know, may happen. But regardless, I've had a nice trip. I've enjoyed myself. So one of these goes off, I'll let you know. And whatever happens, I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Okay guys, just having the last cup of tea before I go. Most of the kit's packed down, just got the bivvy up, rods out, and yeah, the rest of the stuff's up at the entrance to the swim, ready to pick up in the car. But I have this, get the bivvy down, and eventually get the rods in. But yeah, so nothing else was to be by the look of it. Obviously if something does happen, I will get the camera out and show you, but the camera's going away in a minute. So it's been an enjoyable session. Was good to get that fish yesterday. I'm really happy with that, and like I said yesterday, and I meant it, I'm going to go home happy. So yeah, nice session. Always nice to get one under the belt. And until next time, be lucky. Take care guys.